But first, here is Ayen Bior. Take it away, Ayen.
Thanks, Shaka. Still to come, we'll reveal some of the fantastic feedback we've received from you, our audience, through social media. But now here's our letter of the week from a Straight Talk Africa Facebook fan. Our letter of the week comes from Mohammed Ahmed Mansour from Freetown, Sierra Leone. He writes, "The policies of the World Bank and the IMF have come under increasing fire for the negative impact they have had on African countries. But these institutions, the U.S. and other wealthy countries that control them, have refused to address these concerns. Instead, they continue to use Africa's debt as leverage to maintain control over the economic policies of African countries. Even as Africa faces the worst health crisis in human history, these institutions insist that debt repayment take priority over spending in the fight against HIV/AIDS.
Today's youth are not just the next generation of African leaders, they are today's leaders. And this is the time to invest in them, today, not tomorrow. So let's connect, let's engage with each other on issues that will transform our societies. Innovation, leadership, entrepreneurship, things that you're doing to move the continent forward, to make you the greatest generation that Africa has known. It's Upfront every Wednesday, 17:30 UTC, right here on the Voice of America.
This is Straight Talk Africa on the Voice of America. Call us now with your questions and comments. The number 202-619-3111. And the U.S. country code is 1. Call us collect and we'll pay for the call. Or call directs and we'll call you right back. Remember to keep your questions brief. Now back to Straight Talk Africa.
Thank you very much, Esther Githu-Yuwat, and welcome back to Straight Talk Africa, live from Washington. Once again, it's time to bring in my colleague and social media reporter, Ayen. Take it away again, Ayen.
Thanks, Shaka. We received tremendous feedback in our STA inbox to this week's question. As we've mentioned, thousands of government officials, journalists, civil society organizations, and participants from the academia and private sectors were in Washington, D.C. for the spring meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank Group. This leads us to our question of the week, which asks, what issues concerning Africa should stakeholders of the World Bank and IMF be most concerned about? Before we begin, I'd like to thank all of you for using all our social media platforms to communicate with us. And another reminder that we are tweeting live today. Use the hashtag VOA 2016 Spring Meetings. And if you haven't yet, please do follow us at VOA Shaka. And speaking of, let's go to a tweet from Prince Habat Nakula, who tweets, "I'm most concerned about the corruption scandals and shoddy work funded by the World Bank in Uganda." And we have another tweet from George Will Awoye, who tweets, "Electricity, good governance, and security are what the World Bank and IMF should be most concerned about." And our last tweet is from John Rahir, who tweets, "Two institutions should supply resources to help when needed and not a means of Western political impositions and stealing." Now to a comment from a Facebook fan, Amanua Akubo from Abuja, Nigeria, who writes, "The International Monetary Fund should be deeply concerned about its reputation among the good people of Africa. It should see its primary role as that of bringing about sustainable development to all continents of the world, including Africa." Well, Shaka and DeWitt, there certainly is no shortage of views and opinions here. What's your take?
Very interesting. Dawit, your reaction, please.
Yes, I appreciate the eloquence of the president of the bank. He really outlined the problems and the challenges, but a lot needs to be done, more than what he said. There is a lot to be seen in action. But about the questions that have been just issued now, the questions that are posed, I feel, and many researchers and Africans feel, the most serious challenge at this moment in Africa, the most serious since the decolonization process now in Africa, is security problems. security problems and that is terrorism, one, extremism, and transnational crimes. These are fundamental problems that needs to be addressed by governments. And like it's been said earlier during the address of the World Bank by the Queen of the Jordan, is not the problem that we have here in Africa is not the security challenges are not issues that can be addressed by one country. It's a continental problem. It's a regional problem. Africa needs to address these issues, and there cannot be any meaningful development without addressing the issue of security. If we see most of Africa, the entire north of Africa, probably two countries who are in a relatively peace. Otherwise, the entire North Africa has got severe security problems. North Africa, the Arab countries, those bordering the Mediterranean Ocean. If we see sub-Saharan Africa, from East Africa to West Africa, there is no single country that has not been either severely or moderately affected by security problems. If we go to the Gulf of Guinea has now become the most dangerous maritime zone in the world. All the 18 countries along the Gulf of Guinea are severely affected by that. If we go to the Red Sea, that Gulf, the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea used to be the most dangerous maritime zone in the world earlier, but it remains to be a very difficult area, particularly now since the eruption of the civil war in North Yemen. So we see, we see from across the belt of Africa, from east to west, there are severe problems. So when we discuss about development, I don't understand it because I don't see that there can happen any meaningful development program in this kind of problem where the prevailing issue becomes security.
I'll come back to that and perhaps ask you the fundamental root causes of instability. In fact, it is on record that a lot of African countries spend a lot of their money buying weapons. Well, thanks, Ayen, for bringing us this week's audience reaction.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure, Shaka. And that does it for today's social media segment. Just a reminder that we appreciate all the feedback, whether it's in social media form or using other means to communicate to us. Please keep them coming. And if you're a new fan, drop us a line at africatv@voanews.com. Once again, our email address is africatv@voanews.com. Or post your comment on our Facebook page. Enter the keyword Straight Talk Africa. Be sure to visit us online at voaafrica.com, or you can join our YouTube channel. Sign up to VOA TV to Africa. And follow us on Twitter at VOA Shaka. A reminder that the show is streaming live every Wednesday. Go to VOA Straight Talk Africa TV program page on our website, or simply watch us live on your mobile device. Just download the VOA mobile app.